What's good, family? It's your guy every day, dropping edits every day, showcasing my work from music videos, documentaries, the funniest mashups, and looking at one of my latest projects, Revamp. Got footage waiting to be transformed? Let me bring that to life. Send me your clips today and watch your vision turn into magic. Let's make it happen. What's good, family? It's your guy every day. Shout out to the crew and the gang, man. I made this documentary, man. It's called Living Fatherless. Crazy, because when I make my memes, they be getting thousands and thousands. When I be trying to hit them hard topics, nice little 500 here. It's not good enough. But let's tap into this one, man.
What role should a father have in a child's life? Pretty much
A positive role.
positive role. Every role. That's what I'm about to say. You should have a role in everything. When he's waking up in the morning, whether she's waking up in the morning, whether it has to do with school, life, right from wrong. It's not a role that the father should not be involved in.
Being a role model and being a provider, loving and caring, showing them how to relate to other people and best ways to deal and handle with situations, somebody to play with.
100% supportive and interactive role.
Teach the child how to love and how to be responsible and what life is about.
I don't think there is a role of a father. I think there's just a role of a parent. Whoever's available needs to do what needs to be done.
To teach that child to be a man. He's going to be his friend. Mostly importantly, he's going to be there for support.
To protect, educate, to guide their child well in life.
Teaching the child resilience, teaching the child about, overcoming, their insecurities, and about love. First and foremost, it's about love, leading by example.
I don't think there should be any reason, because if a relationship happens to go bad, which many do, you can still be a part of your child's life. You can still find balance, you can still see your child and still grow your child up, even though you're not in the same household.
There's a whole heap of reasons. Not saying whether they're right or wrong. Money, finance, other interests, different pressures. If you're having a child, you need to be there for them, really. So regardless of what the situation is, ideally speaking, you need to be there for your children.
Not feeling adequate enough to fit the father role.
Just not caring.
Or selfish reasons, or it could be selfish reasons as well. Scared of the commitment, scared of the responsibility.
A laziness.
To be fair, there's no reason, in my opinion, there's no reason for a father to leave.
There's always little reasons, I think, pressure, no money,
I don't think that's a reason, though. It's not a reason to leave your child.
No, it's a reason for some people, not for me, though.
No, but even for them people, that's not a reason to leave your child. That's a reason for you to go through what you're going through in life. Not having money, to be down or not being able to buy things. You can be broke and still go with your child. Look in the Bible, man. They didn't have money. They had pressure back then. There's no reason to leave your child at all, man. And I mean, you might get upset in your life. Deal with your life, though. That's problems in your life. You don't bring those into the child's life. You might can leave from that relationship, but always stay in your child's life. You don't have to be with the person. Pressure might make you want to leave the partner you were with, but it shouldn't make you want to leave that child. What has the child done?
That could be many reasons. It could be to do with their relationship with their mother. The fact that they're not ready to be a father and it just happened not organically. Or they could just be worthless people and just go out of business.
I think for a man, it's different than it is for a woman, because obviously the woman has to carry that child in a womb for 9 months. The connection is not as strong as it is with the woman. Therefore, I think, especially in the early stages, it's easy for the man to walk away if things in the relationship are not stable.
People leave for different reasons. Breakdown of a relationship in a marriage or partnership. There's so many different reasons. Their own insecurities and not really feeling they can actually provide, I suppose, as well. They might feel like a failure themselves. And you do get selfish people who leave because I want to be with somebody else, I don't want responsibility, not realising actually I've fathered this child, I've got to take care of this child. And maybe they're just, overwhelmed.
No reasons. You know what? Man. There's a lot of reasons. It happens nowadays because obviously, you get me. You go out, you find a chick one night, you do your thing, and it's you get me. It really took time to get to know the female. You get me, what quality she could bring to you, and then it just don't work. You get me. So she's got a son there or a daughter that's got no father.
Quite often, I think fathers split from their
partners where they've had a child with because of personal differences. But at some point, friction sets in, differences set in. Sometimes there's not a willingness to compromise.
I guess it would have to be really big to leave your own child. I've been on both sides of it. You know, there's the friend of the woman who has baby dad drama, but then I've also been the friend of the guy who has baby mama drama, and I think that, you know, I don't want to put it all on women taking children away from men, but there is some of that going on.
You got a lot of waste man that don't really business in it, that will have enough use all about and don't care, but I think like a large time it's through personal grievances.
Not everything's forever, you know, so relationships do stay and they do break down, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to try your best for your children, I suppose.
They could feel like, you know, rejected. At the same time, it could be a positive situation because the father wasn't very good to them. If he was causing havoc in the household, then removing him removes the problems that they experience, but that presence is still missing, the presence of a father.
Sort of like a missing component, really. You know, it takes two people to bring a person into the world. Kind of like missing that kind of connection, even though you're there and you're existing. It's like a part of a mirror, perhaps. You're missing, and that kind of like it comes back around, really, and you can kind of see the effects in society nowadays.
Certain stability gets lost when a father's not there, and maybe there's things that a child wants to tell the father, you know, depending on whether it's, you know, male or a female child. There's things that a child naturally goes to a father for.
Oh, no role model, like
no role
father should be a role model to you.
Yeah, like, a role model to the father. At the end of the day, a mother can only bring up the son. To be honest, a mother can only bring up the daughter, but can bring up the son at the same time. But a mother can't teach a son what a father can do.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why for a son, he needs his father around.
Turn to the wrong people for advice, got hanging around with the wrong friends, getting in trouble because no boundaries are in place, no father figure or mentor to look up to in terms of being a role model. You know, lack of discipline, no respect, no manners, because there's not a father figure reflecting the ways of what it should be to be a man and have respect for your elders.
A part of them is missing in it because it takes two people to make one, so there's always going to be that part of them they don't understand, and if their mother's there, they're going to understand how to be grown as from a woman's perspective, but they're never going to have an understanding of how you're supposed to be from a man's perspective. So there's just that part of them missing.
To be fair, it's a lot of ways it can be affected, man. Like depression, may not feel stable or feel like that. I mean, it depends on who it is, whether it's well, it doesn't even depend on who it is. Could be a girl or
no, it has the same
boy.
effect.
Right, has the same effect. You might need somebody to talk to, a strong figure. You know what I mean? Mothers, not saying mothers aren't strong figures, but father figures and motherly figures are two different things. You know what I'm saying?
I know that I struggled at times to have a role model. How I know that I struggled is because when I did finally have some role models in my life, I realized how I latched onto them. My brother-in-law, I lived with him. He used to give me certain jobs to do around the house, like cut the grass, reverse the car from the garage and wash it, doing stuff like that around the house, learning how to iron my clothes. You know what I mean? Just learning how to do manly things around the house, brother.
She can teach him certain aspects of being a man, but she can't teach him the full, like 360 degrees of being a man.
See, we're talking about the ladies now, and ladies are, so you got some super women ladies out there who, you know, they will go to the restraints to try and do that. I've spoken to a few ladies who are doing a good job, but yet still when they speak to me, they're like, you know what, he needs, you know, a father figure around, he needs somebody around so he can model himself off. It's a super hard job. I believe some ladies are doing it, but I think it does not replace the actual flesh of a man standing there and doing something. I think that's what a child actually looks up to. He sees that man doing that and knowing he's going to grow up being that man, then seeing it makes it possible to him rather than looking from a woman's point of view. But you have got some super women out there that, you know, they go to the restraints, and I think they'll go to the restraints where they'd find a role model in their life and then make their child look up to that role model, whether it's their brother, whether it's their dad, or someone they know.
I think a mother can show her son how to be a man. Yeah.
I don't think you can teach anybody to be anything that you're not as such. However, you can teach them structure, you can teach them respect, you can teach them how to love, how to receive love, how to give love. You can't teach them how to be a man, but you can teach them how to be a responsible person. Because I couldn't teach my son to be a man, because I'm not a man, clearly, but the point is, I could teach him how to be a good person.
In my view, you don't have to be a male of the species to coach anybody. You can coach anybody, whether you're male or female. Oh yeah, of course you can. And in this day and age, it happens, doesn't it? Whether you like it or not. So you can't say to all these single parents out there, females, that they ain't done a good job.
A mother can definitely teach her son how to be a man. We as women that become mothers have had to interact with men. We have male role models and other males within our families or extended circles, you know, that become role models.
She can try her best, she can do her best. No doubt there's a lot of mothers out there who are doing the best, but a woman can't be a man and a man can't be a woman. We can understand and we can empathise, but ultimately a man can only teach her, you know what I mean? A mother can't be a father. So a lot of mothers are being a father and a mother in one. As understanding I like to think I am, I'll never be a mother, you know, and I can never fulfil that role. And it needs, ideally again, needs those two components together.
I suppose you can show him things, but a male can do has to do male things, innit? So like, you get me, you'll learn in life, like seeing through uncles and that, like there's only certain things that a female can advise you or bring you to, and you have to take them steps yourself to become a young man.
There are some strong black women out there, my sister being one of them. I think some women, because of the way they've been raised, some women, they grow up around a lot of men, so they have a lot of manly features. So yeah, I think it's difficult, but I think it is possible.
I heard this saying once that only a woman can teach a girl to be a woman, and only a man can teach a boy to be a man, but it takes a man to teach a girl how to be a lady, and it takes a woman to teach a boy how to be a gentleman. And I think there is some truth in that.
But teaching a son how to be a man, I don't think a mother can teach a son how to be a man, but she can show a son how to be a man. Because unless you're a man yourself, how can you show somebody, teach somebody something you've never been? That's like me telling you, can you teach your daughter how to be a woman? You can guide her, give her the right ways to go about being a proper woman, but you can not necessarily teach her how to be a woman. If you can't teach somebody something that you haven't been yourself, you can go through things, you know what I mean?
It's domestics, it's not strong values to start with in the beginning. Why a wife and a husband or a man and a woman should stay together. Those values need to be really grounded into a culture, into a minority, to say, look, these are values you need to keep, they're very important. Without those values, that's why it's so easy for a guy to leave his home and leave his children, because there's no values there. And if he looks around in the world he lives and looks up to his peers and there's no values in his peers, then that's what makes it so easy. There are other nations out there who have strong values, and you see their families stay together. So I believe it's not having no values.
You know, in all honesty, when you look around, like, you know, there's pretty girls all over the place, man. I'm not saying that's the thing, but it's like, it's too easy to like just say, yo, leave this one now and check the next bean, you know what I mean? And I think that's all part of it. And nobody really wants to stay there and go through all the hassle of raising kids and getting job and all the hardness and all the tribulations you have to go through to encourage and be together and blah blah blah. It's easy just to walk away, find the next situation, go through the same situation again, and that's how it goes on, man.
Wanna know why? Because unconfident parents. You know what I mean? And I don't want to just say father, I want to say both, mother and father, because they can't deal with their problems. The kids are as a result of it. You know what I mean? Because the mother and the father can't get along, somebody has to leave. And that's how I end up in a fatherless home, whether it's a father that they never see again, or it's a father that's there sometimes. You know what I'm saying to you? At the end of the day, it all breaks down to how that mother and that father deal with their life. You know what I mean? Because the father says stuff to the woman reflects it all to the children, and that's how they learn their things. You know what I'm saying to you?
It's like a product of today's society. You know, there's a lot of changes that's happened economically. Your circumstances, you know, like where you live, the things that are expected of you that can be sometimes, you know, like too much of a tall order. I know that there's some people that will say there's too many fatherless homes because man them too lazy, you know, like, or they can't be bothered, or they're too beaten down because of society and XYZ. You know, we can look at that as, you know, a factor within the fatherless home, but we've also got ourselves to look at as well. You know, I think that there's a bigger picture that we can, each one of us individually, look at ourselves and how do we affect our males, how do the males affect us, can we do more to work with each other? The fatherless home can be supported by more community togetherness as well, you know, and people being able to have a voice or be heard, because a lot of people don't get heard even when there's cries from the home.
I think having a child with someone that you may not particularly be fond of is quite a big task. Yeah, because for the rest of your life you're gonna have to be raising this child with someone that you don't love.
I think nowadays kind of like we're sort of like taught that we don't need each other so much now, and as a result it's like, oh yeah, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, and as a result, you know, that's a simplified way. But I think because we're so individualistic, we're not thinking about units and family.
Male and female not connecting to be a family, you get me? Everyone, it's a selfish world, I say. Cold world, man, cold world.
Nah, it's a cold world, because you know what it is.
Nobody
it's like
care
no,
about each other, nobody.
That's what it is. No one ain't care, no one ain't ready. You get me? The thought to this said the do things are thought, yeah. And when it come down to it,
not ready.
It's not ready. It's not there. It's like child games are playing.
Well, in the black community, I think it has a lot to do with history, just learnt behaviour. It becomes the norm. So if the man's not there, it's nothing to the woman, because the woman can just do what she's doing and look after her children. But in a white family, it's not the norm. But you see it, but it's not in every family. But in black family, you hardly ever see your father around. And if he's around, he comes and goes. He's never there permanently. It's very rare you see happy families like that.
It's often a breakdown in the relationship between the mother and father, and it makes me sad that the children have to suffer that, because there should be a way. You know, if you make that commitment to have a child with someone, you really should commit to co-parenting and figuring out a way to be at least cordial with each other, so you can parent together even if you're not going to stay in a relationship. But some people can't do that. I think it's a maturity thing, I think. Just lacking the maturity to remain in each other's lives, even though maybe you don't like each other anymore, and both be parents to a kid.
Like I'm saying, it's peak out there, you get me? Like sometimes man don't want to stop around, sometimes it's due to arguing and things, you understand what I'm saying? So there's a whole heap of different issues.
I think the values in relationships have gone down now. Men were very much like providers of, you know, they wanted to be the man of the house, when they wanted to work and bring in money to provide for their families. Where now I think their mindsets are different now, and they have no communication with their spouses, etc. as well. So once there's a breakdown in that, then they feel like they have no responsibility in the children. You know, if they break down with their partners, then they're out of it. Whereas, not all men, because some men still want to look for their children, even though the relationship is broke down. You do find that majority of relationships that break down, you can have a knock-on effect on the children as well. Because also there's women that make it difficult for fathers to be fathers when they've got some animosity with their partners or their baby fathers. So that's another whole issue that could be dealt with.
Father's Day is important like Mother's Day, you know, because a child needs both parents, you know, and it takes two to make the child. But Father's Day, it's a day of celebration, but I do feel a little bit kind of disappointed a little bit that it's only sort of like a one day, because I do believe every day is Father's Day, every day is Mother's Day.
Father's Day, it's every day for me. It's not just one day marked out in a calendar. That's every day for me. It's, it's in recognition of what my I say fathers because I've got my paternal father, but I've also got other people who inspire me in a way. So, but in terms of me and my own paternal father, that's every day, man. I give thanks that, and try and show that in the way I live and thing.
Listen, man, I'll be honest with you. There's only one father that I look up to, yeah, and that I praise and that I worship more than anything, man, and that's Jehovah, yeah. And to me, Father's Day, more than anything, is about worshiping Him and giving Him thanks for life, yeah, because that's who the term father derives, yeah, God Almighty, man. But obviously there has been men in my life who, though they haven't been my biological father, they've been there for me, they've supported me financially, they've given me a hug, they've given me a few punches, you know what I mean, to tough me up and certain things like that. So men like that, I will send a card to them, or I'll phone them, or text them, and I'll say, you know what, happy Father's Day. So I'm saying, and that's what Father's Day means to me.
Nothing.
Stop it. She's a man hater.
I'm not. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, I had a good father, role model. So when it's Father's Day for me, I think of the good men out there.
Wow, Father's Day. Father's Day means a great amount, because we had a Father's Day event. I do a little thing called Unity Project, and we actually put on a Father's Day event to actually bring youth together and invite some of the fathers down. Basically, Father's Day for me is not just a day where I would expect my son to say, "Oh, Dad, there's a card," and da-da-da. But for me, it's lots of youth in the community who are fatherless, who they can come, or I can see, and we can reason and talk about their achievements, their goals, what sort of problems they've got at the moment, what sort of problems they have, what they want to do with their life, because they've got no role model to look up to in the first instance. So that was Father's Day. When anybody says Father's Day to me, straight away I think of those who have not got no fathers, and just to contribute, because I believe lots of us mentors out there are fathers to other people's children. So therefore, Father's Day would mean that to me, being a father to not just my child, but other children that have not got a father as well.
Father's Day mean to me? Well, every day should be a Father's Day. Obviously, no, there shouldn't be a day that a day have to be special for a father. Every day is supposed to be a Father's Day and a Mother's Day anyway.
I like Father's Day. For many years, I've been getting my dad cards, which are blank cards. It doesn't say Happy Father's Day on it or anything, but there's a picture of a seahorse. I also have a tattoo of a seahorse, and the reason that I have that is that male seahorses are the ones who carry the babies. They actually have pregnancies, and I think it's representational of my relationship with my father.
Father's Day is every day as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? Just like Mother's Day is every day. I think it's important to remember that, gosh, there's a lot of commercialisation around these days that people celebrate. But I think that it's important to appreciate people every day. So Father's Day should be every day.
Why? Well, it's an English thing still, but Tuesday is based around the kids and that, you know what I mean? I'll accept a little homemade card or whatever and spend the day with them. But really, every day should be Father's Day.
Father's Day? Without cursing, that don't mean nothing to me. Every day is Father's Day. So I mean, every day is Mother's Day. Shouldn't be able to put one finger on one day. I mean, they're supposed to get cards for one day, or, man, you give your girl flowers every day if you can. You tell her you love her every day if you can. Tell your mother you love her every day if you can. Every day's Mother's Day, man. Every day's Father's Day. I don't think I'm gonna stop being a father tomorrow. I can get killed today, God forbid. I'ma still be a father.
Well, in my house, man, it's like, to me personally, that really mean nothing because I don't really check for them things there. That's something that Europeans do. You know, in Jamaica, I never know nothing about no Father's Day. Mind you, I was children then, so I'm not sure if it really did happen. But the one that just went by, you know, my kids got me cards and all that kind of stuff. Mrs. cooked me food, and they don't like, you know, make a great fuss over me because I'm not that kind of person, they know that. But they never ever forget, you know, same as Mother's Day, we never forget. It's a thing it's coming like traditional in our house, you know. My children, wherever they are, they always come over, send me a card, all that, you know, just say, it just shows that they're like thinking of you on that particular day, really. That's all I can say.
For fathers out there, you can all be the most that you can be. You can do anything that you want to do. We can break down barriers, you know, like you can change so much by taking, you know, like those precious moments in each day. Time is such a significant factor. Time is the one thing that we don't have control of, but we can live within it. We can use some of that time productively and positively, because when the time's gone, you can't get it back. So all the moments that you have, just use it and put your heart in there, put the love in there, and imagine if you weren't able to be a father or your child was taken away. You know, imagine how you would feel about that kind of loss, or the loss of time that you're able to put in. You know, if you have any differences out there with your baby mothers, you know, like your partners, make up, because there's only one life. It is very short. It's not as long as you think it is. It's short, so make the most of the time that you have, and just give the most love to yourself and your loved ones. Be there.
You know what, to be honest with you, especially for young black men, I feel like it's so important for us to rise to the occasion, because now more than ever, you know, our youth are out of control, man. And I think a lot of that has to do with a lack of role models in our community. I know, you know, it's a cliche and we've heard it on the media and stuff, but there's definitely a link between fatherless homes and certain types of crimes. You know what I mean? And I feel like if we care for our community, man, we need to simply be more responsible. Yeah, be more responsible, and I'm saying that to myself as well.
You know what? You see, if it's getting to a point where there's argument, yeah, you're in England, yeah, it's best place, the law, yeah, legal aid, take them to court, get your access. Louder arguing, it's long, they'll get you locked.
Yeah, man. Get on your grind, man, because these women are showing us up. Trust me, man. They're showing us up. They driving trucks now, and we driving little cars. You know what I mean? They got the big jobs now, and we sitting out there asking them for money. Come on now, you don't want to be here, like Nas said, begging a woman every night for a different place to sleep and rest your head. You know what I mean? You want to have your own too, man. Stand on your own 2 feet so you can show your kids the right way, man.
Hold it down and keep your head up.
Yeah, fathers out there. To be a father is a gift of growing up and being a real man. Sometimes you can think that it's hard work, but believe me, you can learn things from actually looking after your son. Your son can actually teach you to be responsible and independent, which I learned. Some people look out into the world today and they're like, oh, I want to be that football player, I want to be that movie star or music star. Me, I was glad I wanted to be a father, because like I always looked at it as taking my son to the park to play football or spending time with him, teaching him stuff, just knowing you got an individual, a young little mini you there who you can teach and grow up to be anything in the world, and I just think that's special. So that's my wise words for you fathers out there. Super M, peace.
Take your time in it, like.
No rush, man, no rush, just take it easy, man. Obviously now, what you do, think before you do anything. That's the first thing you should do. If you don't see you're ready for something, then obviously now, just go for it. Obviously now, don't try to waste time, cause right about now, no one ain't got no time no more, you get me? sometimes the only things on our hands. So obviously now, just think what you're doing, man. Just take things easy.
I would say like if you have father and that, just give as much love and attention and show your child the right and wrong thing. You get me? Like there's too many young people doing like bad things out here, like thinking like on the roads and that. Like it's not good, man. Like have some ambition, have something that you want to do. Like you get me?
Trust me, man. Show them the right ropes, man.
Trust me.
Show them the way how they're supposed to do things. But at the same time, sometimes you have to take risks to do things, but at the end of the day, you have to show them the right way.
The right way, trust me.
Oh, that's hard. I guess it's the whole thing I've been saying the whole time. My running theme is that it's about doing what has to be done. I really don't believe that in women's roles and men's roles. I don't believe in father's roles and mother's roles. It's just doing what needs to be done. If your little girl's hair needs to be cane road, learn how to do it. Period.
Fathers, stay with your kids, yeah? If you have to walk 100 miles to be there, be there.
I would say if you've got the time to actually make the child, then you should take the time out to grow the child, because it's a part of you at the end of the day.
Look after your kids, look after your partner. Set an example. It's all about the love.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I'm Everyday, it's your guy, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. If you loved what you saw, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more creative edits. Want to support? Consider donating to help me create even more epic content. And don't forget to grab your exclusive merch at the website, link in my bio. Every purchase supports the channel. It's your guy Everyday. I'm out.